At the beginning of the film, a battered and mistreated man named Mo walks into a police station. The officers, puzzled, ask what happened and he calmly admits that he has killed someone. Shocked, they immediately arrest him. The story then jumps forward 3 years. A female investigator named Luke arrives at a crime scene where a man has been murdered. She soon learns the victim was a professional boxer with a violent history. Upon examining the body, Luke suspects he was tortured for days before being killed. However, the forensic doctor concludes that the killer was a highly skilled fighter who left the victim no chance to resist. During the investigation, the team also finds a peculiar dagger nearby. Meanwhile, Moore is shown in prison, where he has been serving his sentence for 3 years. Despite being provoked by bullies, he usually ignores them and continues with his work. One day he sees the news about the murdered boxer, which surprises him as though he recognizes the victim. He asks a guard to contact Detective Luke, claiming to have information about the case, but the guard mocks him and refuses. Left with no choice, Moore stages a fight with inmates, effortlessly defeating them with his lethal skills. After breaking the leader's arms, the prison guards are forced to intervene. Suspicious of Moore's behavior, the warden contacts Detective Luke and arranges a meeting. Moore tells Luke that the slain boxer was his close friend and warns her that the killer won't stop at one victim. He insists that the murderer aims to challenge and defeat the best kung fu masters to prove himself as the strongest. When Luke presses for evidence, Moore cannot explain how he knows but asks to be released so he can help catch the killer. Initially doubtful, the detectives are about to leave when Moore lists 7 martial arts experts who might be next. He claims to have fought and beaten them in the past. Though skeptical, Luke orders her junior officer to investigate the 7 individuals. Meanwhile, the killer sharpens his blade and writes the name Tom King Yi on a wall. King Yi, one of the 7, is seen working at a museum when the killer suddenly appears. Introducing himself as Feng Yusa, he challenges King Yi to a duel. During the fight, King Yi notices Yusa's uneven legs and mocks him for wearing a high-heeled shoe to compensate. Despite the insult, he acknowledges Yusa's dedication. The duel intensifies until Yusa breaks King Yi's legs and kills him, leaving behind the same dagger as his signature. The police investigate the names Mo provided and find that they are highly skilled fighters across different fields. They also learn that Moore was once a renowned martial arts instructor with thousands of students. When news of King Yi's death arrives, Luke is stunned, realizing Moore's prediction was accurate. The next day, Moore is temporarily released to help with the case. Analyzing the murders, he concludes the killer is targeting fighters by their specialty. First a boxer skilled with fists, then King Yi, the kickboxing master. Moore predicts the next victim will be Wang Chi, a grappling expert. When police rush to Wang's home, they arrive too late. He has already been killed, with the same dagger left behind. During the chaos, Mo spots Yusa on a rooftop and chases him, joined by the officers. But Yusa outmaneuvers them, leaping across buildings until he escapes. Frustrated, the police regroup, only to realize Moore has slipped away as well. Moore heads to his hometown of Fa Shan, where he reunites with his wife, Sining, after 3 years apart. She welcomes him warmly and ties a sacred band on his wrist, saying it will help him control his strength and fight only in self-defense. That night, Moore finds a dagger identical to the killer's among his belongings. Shocked, he asks Sining about it. She explains that months earlier, a limping stranger had brought it to their martial arts school, asking her to pass it on to Moore. They later consult a village historian, who reveals that the dagger is known as Eve's Swallow. It was once given to defeated fighters during the Qing dynasty. An old man nearby overhears and shares Yusa's background. Born with uneven legs and shunned by society, he devoted himself to martial arts after his wife died of cancer, determined to become the greatest. Moore informs Detective Luke about Yusa, and the police soon raid his home. But Yusa has already fled, leaving behind signs of his brutal training methods. They discover inscriptions on the wall, confirming his mission to defeat the top fighters one by one. Meanwhile, Yusa approaches his next target, Hung Yip, a weapons expert. They duel with swords in a fierce battle, but Yusa ultimately slits Hung Yip's throat and leaves his signature dagger. The killings put pressure on Detective Luke and her superior, who urge Moore to solve the case quickly. A flashback reveals that Moore once received a letter from Yusa while in prison, hinting that Mo himself was the ultimate target. This fuels Luke's suspicion that Moore may be connected to the killer. She orders surveillance footage and discovers Yusa had visited Moore in prison. Convinced they are working together, she confronts Moore at gunpoint. But Moore disarms her and escapes, determined to face Yusa himself. At the same time, Sining confronts Yusa directly, offering him his late wife's ashes in exchange for sparing Moore's life. But Yusa rejects her plea, insisting that Moore must be pushed to his limits. They fight, but Yusa stabs her arm and escapes. Moore arrives too late and finds his wife injured, but soon spots Yusa nearby. They clash, their fight spilling onto boats and into the river. Yusa eventually escapes, leaving Moore furious. Later, Mo tells Luke that Yusa threatened his wife, which is why he concealed the truth earlier. He assures her he is not allied with Yusa. When Yusa targets his next victim, Moore intercepts him on a highway. The two finally face each other, paying mutual respect before engaging in an intense duel. Their skills evenly match as they battle barehanded and with bamboo sticks. At one point, Moore's clothing gets snagged on a truck, leaving him vulnerable. Yusa seizes the chance to finish him, but just then Detective Luke arrives and fatally shoots Yusa. Moore is rushed to the hospital and months later he is back in prison. One day Detective Luke visits to inform him that he will soon be released. The film ends with Moore reunited with his wife and posing for pictures with students from their martial arts school. Subscribe for more videos like this and remember to like and support the channel. Until next time, have a great day.